Will this be the one series to rule them all? That is the question that we have about the new Lord of the Rings series upcoming, well, supposedly 2021 on Amazon. There has been some news on this series, guys. We're going to dig into it, and we're also going to dig into what do we know so far about this series, what's known about the cast, the crew, the story. We're going to dig into it in this video. For the people watching, we're going to keep a very close eye on the Lord of the Rings series in the upcoming, well, 2 years until its releases, and of course we're going to watch it and review it when it's finally there. So if you want to stay up to date on the Lord of the Rings series, subscribe to our channel, and then we will dive into it right now. All right, guys, so there was some news this week around the series. It was came from the actress Morfydd Clark. She's an actress that we could know from, for example, the series His Dark Materials. She plays a part in that one. So she said in an interview, I don't think it could get much bigger than this. The amount of people working on the show is continually mind-blowing. One guy's job consists just of seeing how dust reacts to footsteps and breath. That would have never even crossed my mind before. Yeah, right. So talking about the scope of a movie.
Yeah, well, that's professional.
You have to have also the budget to do it, you know? That's the problem.
Well, exactly. So, because if we dive into what do we know so far, we do know, of course, that Amazon won a bidding war with companies like Netflix and HBO, and in the end paid $250 million for the rights to this series. That's not the budget, but just the rights for the series to be able to make it. And they put in a budget of $1 billion, which makes this the biggest budget in television history.
For series, right?
And it's the second record, because the one before, do you guys know what the record was?
No, Game of Thrones, I think?
No, the Grand Tour from the guys from Top Gear, also on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Of course. They had they had a budget of $5 million or something per episode, like ridiculous, really.
Yeah.
Hey, Middle Earth, I saw.
Yeah, we saw it. So yeah, but that's what we know about the production. So we see here, indeed, Middle Earth. This is a map. This is the only picture that got released so far. There was some behind-the-scenes pictures, I think, but this was the picture that was released by Amazon. We see here down in the...
It's a different map than I was used to. I read the books, and I watched the map, I think, for hours, because I'm fond of maps. Yeah. But this I don't recognize that much. So
now, what we could see here, of course, in the down left, we can see Numenor. Yeah, and what is said about the story is that it will take place in the Age of Numenor. This is the second age and spans a time period of 3,441 years before the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah,
but it is not known yet where exactly and when exactly in this time frame this story will take place. It might be, of course, 3,441 years ago, but it might also be 1 year before the Fellowship of the Ring, which I don't expect, by the way.
And they have a different count of time in Middle Earth. So.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure that a year, as we know, is a year in Middle Earth.
Is a normal year, exactly. Okay.
But I do presume that it will tell the story about the first war with Sauron.
Yes, because this was the second age, and this is when the rise of the villain Sauron came, and the creation of the One Ring, which we already seen talks about in the Fellowship, of course. In this intro, I think, they explain how the rings got created.
Yeah, but it's actually a bit of a shame that they don't use his former master, Melkor, or Morgoth. It was more interesting, I think.
Yeah, because I thought I have that book over here, the Silmarillion, if I pronounce it right. I thought actually that the series would be about
I thought they were going to finally show them, because Morgoth used to fight with way more epic animals and creatures and whatever. It was way more epic, I remember.
Yeah. But
maybe they will use what Sven said. They will use the first war with Sauron, but also have some background story on how Sauron came to be. And learn from his former master, maybe that would be nice. Maybe.
Yeah. The becoming of Sauron.
Yeah. The rise of Sauron. That's going to be the subtitle.
Christian Bale, the rise of Sauron.
Because I really remember they talked a lot. It was also introduced in the first movie, The Fellowship of the Ring, how the power was divided on Middle Earth, and that they had the first big clash between the elves, men, and Mordor, where Sauron had the ring and actually was trying to make the world black and dark. And then they Isildur and Elrond took away the ring from him.
Elrond was played by Agent Smith, right? I forgot his name now.
Taylor.
No, Hugo Weaver. Hugo Weaver.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to the crew, we know so far that these guys, G.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, are the showrunners for the series. They previously worked on Godzilla vs. Kong and Star Trek 4.
Good picture.
What did you say?
Good picture.
Right. So those are the showrunners. We know that J.A. Bayona is directing the first 2 episodes. We can know him. He's known for Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom, The Impossible, and A Monster Calls. That's some of his famous movies on his resume. So apparently, I think they already shot the first 2 episodes. So I guess his work is done now because there's though I don't know who the other episodes will direct. I think it's not known yet. So far,
set the standard probably.
Yeah, exactly. To put the quality level out there, have a experienced director. Peter Jackson is not involved so far.
No,
supposedly
they had talks with him.
Yeah,
Prime and Peter Jackson, but they did not came to a construction agreement. But Peter Jackson reacted later on that he wanted to give advice on the script and the screenplay, just notes, not like to cooperate.
Nothing official.
No, and that he's actually looking forward also to enjoy a Lord of the Rings or a Tolkien production.
Without him
as a consumer,
being in the back seat, and I get that.
So I get that too.
Of course. Cool. So what we do know about the cast, well, we know that this guy is in it, Robert Aramayo, if I pronounce it right. He's known for playing Aramayo. Okay, he's known for playing a young Ned Stark in the Game of Thrones. Well, so a very small part.
Way more movies, man. He also played in that movie, The Nocturnal Animals and The King's Man. He plays. The upcoming one, of course, not the older one, The King's Man.
So that guy we got Owain Arthur. He was recently. Yeah, he's recently. Well, I think I'm not sure. Maybe, So he was recently seen in the one and only Ivan. I don't know this guy, but
no, me neither.
This one I do know. Nazanin Boniadi. She was in Homeland. Yes, but I most know her from How I Met Your Mother, where she played Neil Patrick Harris's love interest, Nora. I
would presume she was playing an elf. Or
she has the face. She has the face for it. Yeah, definitely. Then we got this guy Tom Bartsch. Also has a bit of a. Well, it's maybe not a nice thing to say, but a bit of a Hobbit look over him from this photo, at least.
He played in the.
I really like the Hobbits. They are really.
True.
I think you have a great time with them. You know?
Absolutely.
He was nice in the Pacific, the show from Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. On HBO.
Yeah. But do we think the Hobbits will be in here? Because they didn't have an important part, I think, throughout history before the Fellowship of the Ring.
I don't think so. The Second Age, I don't think they even mentioned the Hobbits, if I remember the books correctly. Yeah.
But on the other hand, can you do that to the audience?
Bilbo Baggins his story was being told in The Hobbit. I think they always have been existing, but their role was less important. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm wondering, like in one way, I think the audiences expect they almost demand, I think, hobbits, but so in that way there's no way around it. But if you look in the history books of Lord of the Rings, I think they didn't play any important role. So maybe they can go a bit around it, and Tolkien estate will allow it. But I don't know.
You've seen it, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I really don't think we can expect hobbits, to be honest. If my remembrance of the books that I've read, also the ones that were written, like finished by his son, because there were some, of course, also you read, I think, the Silmarillion, whatever you call it. Yeah. And I read the book of the Book of Bear or whatever, the Book of Húrin and the other elves. It's nothing about hobbits, and it's about way more epic stuff actually. Like you guys remember from the first movie? You remember that really evil creature at the end of the first movie that took away Gandalf?
Yeah, the demon.
So like Sauron was cool, but his previous guy, he had like more of those fighting for him. I think so imagine, and werewolves and whatever. So
On the other hand, they recorded in New Zealand, so I think the Hobbit houses were still still existing. So you never know.
Yeah, it's possible. We don't know. I don't think we cannot exclude it. Maybe yes, we should.
No. Yeah, I think. They almost have to, but for audience sakes, because I think a lot of audience will be disappointed if it's not the case. So it's like having Star Wars without Jedi, so to say. I think, but
But you know what I just realized? You know what the worst part about the show is going to be? Even if it's going to be really good, they won't have any Nazgul because they didn't exist yet.
No.
That's horrible. True. The most evil villains in the world.
True. But we got this guy, and then we got this is Morpeth Clark. She will play a young Galadriel.
She looks like
who was played, of course, by Cate Blanchett in the movies. She will play it now in the series. And we got this guy, Maxim Baldry. Then we had Elijah Wood saying in an interview that he would be interested to return to Lord of the Rings if it would fit in the time frame. Well, it's already like we discussed about now. It's not very likely that it will fit with the time frame. But when it comes to Ian McKellen, he also would like to return, and for him it would be a bit easier because, Ian McKellen touched on it himself in an interview with the Graham Norton in the Graham Norton show, saying, "What do you mean, another Gandalf?" When it was suggested, I haven't said yes because I haven't been asked. But are you suggesting that someone else is going to play it? Gandalf is over 7,000 years old, so I'm not too old.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
Also, how on earth can you see Cate Blanchett played very good Galadriel, but she's replaceable with a younger version. That makes sense. But you cannot replace. Who else can replace Gandalf? Come on.
I love Ian McKellen, by the way. He's such a great character.
And I think he will become brown or gray. I don't know what his grade was by then. But
maybe a blue version.
Gandalf blue.
Gandalf the black and white.
In these times, maybe better.
Exactly, black and white. Dusty Gandalf.
I want to refer to.
You cannot replace him.
No, he has to play it. But we have Andy Serkis also saying something about it, who played, of course, Gollum. He said, "It sounds incredible, but I don't see myself being any part of it. I think it's a completely fresh, new approach to it all, so I don't think I imagine myself to be anywhere near it, really."
Not as Gollum or the creature that was before Gollum, because it was also different times. So maybe in a different role, with this voice.
Yeah, of course.
Well, my impression is that they are making really clean sheet with 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And they have to. Due to the time, they have to. They only have Galadriel, Elrond. They only have one problem. If they choose, for instance, to work with Ian McKellen, then I think also the other actor that plays Sauron, he also was alive, I think, but the actor he passed away. So
But I think Gandalf, if Ian McKellen's open for it, I think same here. You don't have to give him a very large part, of course, but you can give him have him show up in one episode. I think people would go crazy over it. Like end one episode with a more or less cliffhanger where you see Gandalf. Like the crowd would be go wild, of course. So you can let him have some, or maybe just being mentioned about that he's part of the story, but without being super prominent.
Episode, he's doing some fireworks for kids, also fun.
Yeah, exactly. You shall not pass.
Yeah.
You shall not pass.
Run, you fools.
Yeah, exactly. So and then one other last cast member that came out with an interview was Orlando Bloom, stating, "I don't know how they're going to approach it. I haven't had any conversations about it. I like to think of myself as ageless, but I don't know where I would fit in that world really. If you're saying there's Legolas, they probably got a 19-year-old kid who's ready to go. So yeah, that makes sense, of course, that they also have to attract the younger audiences with Orlando Bloom kind of pretty. He was the 19-year-old kid back then.
Yeah, I think that makes sense too. I think I don't know if Legolas was existing already in this where the story is being told, the time frame.
No, I don't know either.
No,
but yeah, so that's
elves, of course. You don't know how old they are actually. Do we know?
I don't know that.
No.
If people watching know, let us know. But I don't know how old. You would assume old, yeah, but I don't know exactly. But so that's some things we know so far. Some things you guys got to add to this.
The thing is, so we know that if we know back from the story, of course, we know that Elrond, Galadriel, they play a huge part in this. Also, that has to be then also with Gandalf. The thing is, I am very curious. They have to use Melkor in some kind of way, like the Lord above Sauron. I'm very curious how we're going to see Sauron, because Sauron, the backstory, of course, it'll be super cool to see it, because he was never a man. He was a god or a semi-god or whatever you want to call it. But he had the shape, of course, of a normal human man. Apparently, a really pretty handsome man. And he didn't just turn out to be like an eye in the beginning, you know?
No.
Or of course, have like...
Hello,
I'm an eye. I've seen you. No, but I'm very curious how they're going to do this, who they're going to choose for that. Maybe...
Yeah.
And we didn't mention also that the guy playing Benjen Stark in Game of Thrones, also Joseph Male. He looks a bit like he has the face for it.
He's also in it?
Yeah, he's also in it. And also Ismael Cruz Cordova, a very nice actor. He played in Berlin Station.
And in The Mandalorian, I think.
Mandalorian, he played a prisoner, exactly. Yeah, so he's also. But yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna do this, and maybe the whole thing with the Matrix, with the conflicting scheduling conflicts that they said was the reason. Maybe that's the reason. That has nothing to do with the theater play, but maybe it has to do with
Hugo Weaving.
With the show, Hugo Weaving, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be cool to see him. But yeah, it's of course also good to get a fresh start, so to say, and not be too much attached to the movies. Yeah,
and the thing is, like, the main thing is, I think what they want to try to do is, what I heard from the things that I read, is they focus key points now, because they have to make 4 seasons, no? That was the deal?
Yeah, there's 4 seasons. I think there's also already talks about a spin-off series, so there's a lot going to happen. Yeah. Which makes sense, of course. If you pay as a company like Amazon, you pay $250 million for the rights. Yeah, you want to create quite some content around it.
Yeah, but the strange thing is they were then really strict with the time that I remember the contracts, so the time frame, because also everybody in the beginning was expecting, of course, the show will be about a young Aragorn. Would have been very interesting, they thought, but even a spin-off is counted out now because due to the time frame, if it's really true with the rumor we know, you cannot make that.
No.
So
Sven, anything you got to add to it?
Well, I think they really wanted to make a clean sheet, and I think that was on purpose, because new generation, 20 years later,
definitely.
New story, new director, new production house, which can create one exception maybe for Gandalf. That would be really nice. And for the story, I think, I'm really looking forward to how they gonna do it with these new people and how this new generation is going to put in place this story.
Exactly. Well, we are going to keep a very close eye on this series. That much is for sure in the upcoming 2 years, I would say, because it's still supposed to arrive 2021 on Amazon. So we're going to keep a close eye on all the news around this series and make videos about it. And of course, we will make reviews as soon as the episodes will drop. So if you want to stay updated on everything Lord of the Rings series, then subscribe to our channel. And if you think like, okay, this was quite fun seeing this news and talking about this news with these guys, give us a little thumbs up. And let us know what you thought about all this in the comments. Do you know maybe more?
if you have any news, if you know more than we do, let us know so we can talk about this. And if you have expectations, and maybe they won't focus on Sauron, maybe they focus on a completely different side of the story. Also interesting, of course, to know.
Exactly. Maybe there are more things in this time frame that are interesting, other stories than just the Sauron story. Let us know in the comments, and let's discuss a bit more over there. Then for now, we're going to say bye-bye and see you at the next one.
Yes.
One ring to rule them all.